Hey guys, welcome back to Bearded Lumber. Henry and I appreciate you tuning in. Today, you can see behind me, we're working on our F450 dump truck project, and we got a new addition. We got a dump bed. I went and picked that up yesterday from good Ukrainian buddies in Spartanburg, South Carolina. If you're in the upstate and you need some spare parts, get a hold of them. Their company name is Scrap, S-C-R-A-P. I'll try to get Matthew to link their information in the description. But great group of guys. Keep all kind of late model trucks, 2000 and up, Ford, Chevrolet, Dodge, anything you need. Cabs, beds, frames, whatever, they got it. Unfortunately, this, let me come right back and I'll tell you the story about getting back to where this bed was at. So we'll be right back. I keep them for keepsakes. Okay, guys, welcome back. Henry's asked me about tags I got on the wall. I guess that comes from my grandpa Bill. He had a whole barn covered up with them. We still call it tag barn. But anyway, looking on my Facebook Marketplace once again, found a bunch of flatbeds, and I just knew I wouldn't be happy with a flatbed. Actually talked to C&M about a new one. Had good prices, but I just knew I wouldn't be happy with a flatbed. So kept looking. I run across this one on Facebook Marketplace. Had a beautiful picture sitting on a burnt 2017 F450. And I called the guys and we talked a little bit. I said, well, I'll come look at it. Well, drove down there, pulled into the scrapyard, and he said, I told him what I was there for. He said, oh yeah. He looked at the picture. He said, ooh. I knew I was in trouble then. I said, what's the matter? He said, it's all the way in the back. So we walked from probably here to the barn up there on top of the hill through a junkyard that you couldn't drive through. You had to weave through the cars all the way in the back corner in the weeds this tall. I had to trample down weeds and trees to get a good look at it, and got what I could see I liked. I was intending on doing an electric over hydraulic bed. This one has the pump and everything. The only thing that's missing to work is the switch. So I can buy a new switch put on it. It's technically a gravel bed. It's got a gravel tailgate on it. Two position, either swing out to dump gravel or lay flat to haul long stuff. And that really benefits us. I don't know that we'll haul much gravel, but if we want to, we can. If we want to use it like a flatbed, we can just lay that tailgate down the other way and load long stuff in it. But it's 11, 4, 6, something like that. And then you add that another 18 inches of tailgate. That'd make hauling 16-foot stuff a little more easily done. Me and Henry have already got filthy this morning. We come out and got the pressure washer. The front of the bed was full of dirt and crap, and I wanted to get all that out because they got it's probably landscaper junk in here. You can see it I guess where they put their shovels or whatever. All that's coming out. It was packed full of dirt, so I got that cleaned out. So Henry and I are gonna get in there and dismantle that here in a little bit. Now, the bed, I didn't know it because I couldn't get in there really good to look at it. I assumed, you know how assumptions go. This camera's not sitting level for some reason. But I assumed that the receiver hitch was part of the subframe, because most of them are. But this one was not. It was actually welded to the frame horns. This is the frame off the truck where they had to saw it off Yeah. This is the frame of the truck it come off of, and they was trying to cut through it and couldn't get it, and they just whacked the frame off. So we got to cut this old subframe off so we can slide it up on our subframe. It'll take a little work because it protrudes through here. So all this have to get torched out, cleaned up. You can see where it come from. Come out of Iowa. That's why it's got a lot of surface rust. And that's probably one reason he had a hard time selling it, because the pictures didn't look good on Marketplace. You could visibly see a lot of rust. But his price was good enough. I said, well, it's worth the trip, 40 minutes to the south side of Spartanburg, to go look at it. And as soon as I walked up on it, I knew there wasn't nothing wrong with it. I'll tell you what's wrong with it. Lazy, worthless manufacturing companies. Hey, if you work for the company that made this, you ought to be ashamed of yourself. Why would you make a steel bed and paint it black and never put a stitch of primer on it? What do you think's going to happen? Paint does not stick to metal. Paint sticks to primer. Primer sticks to metal. When you paint raw metal, guys, tip of the day, listen. When you paint raw metal with paint, it comes loose and rust grows behind it. Primer your metal and then paint it, and you'll have a finish that'll last 20, 30 years, even on an old dump truck. Don't get me started. I mean, you can do better, guys. I don't know why my camera went dark. There we go, timed out on me. But some reason, I just don't understand it, guys. We're Americans. We can make a quality freaking product. This is junk. If you're the manufacturer of this bed, you ought to be ashamed of yourself. What does it cost to the end consumer for you to do a two-step paint job? Put a coat of primer on it. This is not cheap. I priced a new bed. You know what a new bed is today? Not a rock bed. Just a new, nice flat bed. It's like $15,000. I'm paying enough money, you can put primer and paint on it to where the thing will last. Oh, let me get off my soapbox. I get irritated. We complain about America's not building nothing, and when we do build something, we build garbage. We can do better. Whatever. I think my microphone disconnected. Maybe. Anyway, let me move on. Guys, if you're in the manufacturing world, I'm in the manufacturing. I manufacture wood. Make as good a quality product as you can. I understand sometimes cheap is cheap, and there's some things we can't make in America because we just can't make it cheap enough. But when you're making quality products, do quality work and give people what they're paying for. Okay. So today's video, with Henry's help, I'll try to. I didn't get my camera out, but I had my phone. I took some videos of Henry helping me steam clean. I'll try to get Matthew to add those in. Not a whole lot we can do on the bed today without Matthew's help. It's technically, there's not much I could do to it other than mount it to the truck. And I've already done a little measuring, and unfortunately, there are mounting tabs in the wrong place. So I'm gonna have to move every one of their mounting tabs to where they'll line up with my frame, because there's 17 years difference between the frame that come off and this one. Dimensionally, they're the same, but you know, holes and spring hangers and things are in different places. So we'll just cut off all their mounts, and we'll weld on new mounts and get it set down on the bed, on the truck. And yeah, that's probably about all I can do to it till we get it mounted to the truck, get it wired to where it can go up and down. Now the receiver section needs a lot of work, and that's what I'm going to focus on today. Get the acetylene torch and grinders, cutting wheels, and try to notch out where that thing's stuck on the frame. And our frame horn over here still has the little extension with the air tank. We'll just cut that right off. We can slide. If we get this receiver slid up on there and welded back on, I'd rather do it now before we put the bed on. We'll do that, and I'm still debating how we'll do my air ride. I've got an undermount toolbox, and I'm thinking about go ahead and mounting the undermount toolbox and put all my air ride, you know, up high, mounted to the back of the toolbox so it's out of the weather, and then I can have the air ride working, and then put the bed on it. We'll see how it all goes. It all may happen at the same time. So enough talking. Let's drag out some tools, and we're gonna get to work. Okay, guys. Next part of this is I'm gonna cut probably just a big chunk out of this center frame, get it out of the way, because I'm gonna have to nibble around a lot to get it to come out. So got hammer and gloves, acetylene. So let's see if we can make something happen here. Okay. Phew, I hate that helmet. I got a better one. Got one that goes into grind mode, not just welding mode. But
Grind mode.
it don't get so dark. It gets so dark I can't see it. Okay, that didn't really help anything other than get it to where I can get in here and see and try to get this whittled out. Because they've welded up this seam, across here, underneath, down around the front where it protrudes through. They did a good job putting it on. Now I've got to get it cut out there. So we'll just sneak up on it a little bit at a time. Ain't no big rush. They put it on with weld. We'll take it off with gas and put it back on with weld. Nothing the grinder won't fix. They did a good job welding their receiver ball in, the hicks, but they didn't put any weld on the backside. You know, how much effort does it take to run a bead around the backside? We'll do that while we got it apart. Just manufacturing, guys. I could talk for hours what I've seen over the years. Yeah, move on. We got other things to do. Okay, I'm gonna dig out my other helmet. I got too much to do to not wear some kind of eye protection, because I'm gonna try to blow most of this off, and then we'll whittle our way back to it. It's just too much to go in and get it all at once. Same thing here. I'll probably go in here and cut this. Just make smaller pieces. So give me this minute, and I'll be right back. Okay, I got a different helmet. Has a grind function on it where it don't go so dark. Let's just start whittling away at it. It's gonna look a lot worse before it looks better. Okay, welcome back, guys. I had to give the camera a break. It got hot and turned off on me, but we got the rest of it cut out. So, kind of hard to see. Sun's fighting against us here, but we got it all notched back out. Nothing a little grinding and a lot of welding rod won't fix. Next thing to do is these extra frame horns they put on this amulets are coming off, and then that will slide right up on there and get welded back on. So, whew, it's lunchtime. You notice the ground's wet. I watered everything down because I'm getting ready to leave for a little while. Go get a bite to eat. We don't want any surprises when we get back. Also, I'm going to, while I got the torch out, probably heat this up and get it to bend back down. Looks like they backed over something. But not the end of the world. It happens. So that was not as bad as I thought. It come off very easy. Just hogging out around the welds. I'm sure I'll regret it a little bit when we go welding it back on, but I got plenty of pounds of welding rod. We'll just fill it back up. And when it goes back on there, it'll be there. So that's gonna do it for now. I'm gonna get about to eat and I'll be back, guys. Okay, guys, back from lunch. Went out to Mom's, had a good lunch. Sat there and talked. Something we try to do about every weekend. So come back. We got our frame horns cut out. I still need to do some grinding. We got this ear that's been up. I'm gonna try to heat it. You can see I've got the tractor sitting over there as a little bit of a dead weight. Not gonna beat it. Gonna get it hot and just basically pull down on it with a 4-foot pipe wrench, and we'll see how it goes. An excessive amount of heat will do most of the work. So let's get her hot. Most of the time when I'm cutting or just wanting to heat, not cut, I'll stick my thumb under the oxygen handle so we don't accidentally mash it and cut through. Okay. That did exactly what we wanted. Pulled it down nice and level. It's got a little ripple right here. I'll lay it back flat, put it on a piece of steel. Same thing right here. Put that on, probably set it on the forks where I got something to pound on a little bit. We'll heat it up, pound that flat. Did the same thing out here. It's got a little buckle. Nothing that can't be straightened out. I'm happy with that. Let me go put this big old monster back up. Best thing to do is probably put it on these forks. That way I can tap on it. So let me raise this up just a little bit. Now, don't make the mistake of not wearing your gloves. Anywhere you touch is liable to be hot, so. Okay, that did just what I wanted to do. Set down on the forks. Now, I'll bring you over here, you can see what I'm looking at. Trying to get you close without get you burned up. There you go. You can see where it's rippled right here and on this side and one over there. So that's what we're going to do next, is heat those up. See if I can pound them out a little bit. This goes pretty quick. Just gotta, let the heat do its job. Looking for a bright cherry red. Once I get to that, move on. Try to get the whole section good and cherry red at one time. Kind of like forging metal, but we're just bending it back into a prettier shape, flat. There we go. Okay. Not gonna be perfect, but it won't be nearly as noticeable. There you go. Go over here and do the other side. This takes patience. I'm not the world's most patient individual. I like things to go fast, but this takes a little bit of time to get the heat in it. I'd like to have a big rosebud. It's on my list of tools to buy one day, but we can get by without a rosebud heating tip for now. This just takes a little longer. That should do it. Good and cherry red. There we go. We'll flip it over. Look at it. From this side. Got a couple little spots need adjustment. like I say, it's not going to be perfect, but you have to get up here real close to look at it to see the imperfection. And 70 mile an hour down the interstate, you'll never see it. That's got it. I like it. Get this hot helmet off. Whew. Okay, guys. That is our piece cut out. The wings leveled out. I'm gonna take the grinder, grind all this up, and be ready to put it on the truck. Get it welded in. Just talk to the camera. There we go. I don't have Matthew here helping me out with camera angles, so just bear with me. Yeah, come back over here. Look at it. That looks so much better than what we started with. If you can see it, it's black, and we're in the shadow here. But I'm quite happy with it. This thing's got a valid tag from Iowa through August of 2024, so it hadn't been scrapped out long. I'm pretty sure it was probably a Copart purchase, burnt bed, but we're happy to have it, or a burnt cab burnt up on it. If you look at the front, right here where the headache rack is, you can see where it got a little toasty. It come close to getting the bed, and I'm thankful it didn't, or we wouldn't have a nice bed to put on our truck. Now, talk cost. Okay, if I can't see myself in the screen, I don't know if I'm in the shot. Let's talk cost. We don't normally do it in sawmilling because what I do has no bearing on where you're at. But this dump bed, the guy sold it to me, I think, at a super good bargain. I paid $4,000 plus sales tax, $280 sales tax, and I'm tickled to death to pay it. I think it's worth every penny. Like I say, I priced a new flatbed. That's just a flatbed with a little headache rack, and you've got to put your own wood sides on it. It was like $15,000. This bed, $4,000. It took us 2 trips. We went down there and looked at it, and I liked it. I paid him a cash deposit, and 2 days he called me back, said, hey, we got it cut off the frame, come get it. Went down there yesterday, picked it up, wrote him a check for the balance, drove home with it. Now, in your market, you might find one cheaper. It might be 3 times more expensive. But in our market, a $4,000 bed, a dump bed, with the battery cable, the lights, the electric hydraulic dump motor and reservoir all in there. The only thing I got to do that I know of from looking while I had it up off the ground, it needs 2 new lines from the tank to the cylinder, which I wouldn't want to run it without replacing them. And the up and down control button is missing, about $20 on Amazon. The main battery cable and everything, all the wiring for the lights is still there. It should be, hopefully, pretty well plug and play. Other than we got to get it sandblasted. I'm debating whether I want to blast it myself, because I do have access to a big pot blaster, or if I just want to take it to a guy that'll do it in a couple hours and be done with it. So more to come on that in the future. But right now we're going to get it mounted, get it functioning, get the truck running and functioning, and if I decide to have him do it, we'll just drive over there and sit for a couple hours and film him doing it. So I believe that's going to do it on this video. It's gotten kind of long. All I got left to do, like I say, is grind the loose slag off of this, and we'll start back on the next video getting it mounted to our frame, because the frame right there where that 6/8 channel's been added, I got to cut it off right there, get rid of all that air ride suspension stuff that we're not going to need, slide it up on there and get it balanced where it needs to be, and then put 10 pounds of welding rod on it, and it'll be good. So I'm looking forward to that. We'll more likely use this truck to pull with more than like a 5th wheel. I do want to add a hidden 5th wheel to it eventually, but more than likely it'd be a bumper pull a lot. So We want this to be well attached, and I don't see any problem with it once it really gets some welding rod laid to it. So, guys, I appreciate you watching. No, today I don't normally date our videos because we try to film them out, a few weeks in advance, and we got a vacation coming up, and we're trying to get a few more scheduled so you can enjoy what we're doing, even though we're off fishing with Solomon. But this is the middle of August for us, and we passed 10,000 subscribers today, and it blows me away. I don't want to miss the opportunity to tell you thank you. We didn't get into YouTube to be any kind of celebrity. I'm not. I'm just a regular Joe. I'm 57-year-old now. I'm retired. Now, that being said, I draw a retirement check, but it ain't much when you early retire. I just got to the point in my corporate job that they really didn't want me no more, and I really did not want them anymore. And after 25 years of loyal service to them and them loyalty to me, we decided it was time to do something different. And I hadn't looked back. I thank the Lord for it most every day. Being self-employed is no joy. If you want to enjoy life, riding your Harley, playing in the boat, whatever, keep your job, because it's a whole lot simpler. But if you have the mindset to do the work, be self-employed, it is so much more enjoyable. Being able to set your own schedule, live your own life the way you want to. Now, I'm still customer dependent. I depend on my customers. They're top priority as far as business. And because if we don't take care of customers, we got no business. I can't buy these projects and do these things without taking care of our customer base. So you still have a boss. You still have a customer base. And just like I'm telling everybody that normally calls me about getting something done, I'm like, well, if you need it before this date, you need to get it to me now, because I got a couple weeks and then, we're going to be missing. And, that part of it you got to add in. But I didn't have to ask anybody's permission for this specific date for me to go do something else. And I enjoy that, because I spent many, many years, if I wanted to plan something, I had to involve 2 or 3 other people before I could ever get an answer. Yeah, I could go do that. And I really enjoy that at my age, And we take some government days. We'll work hard. We'll have a good week, be very productive, and we might take a Friday off. Might go fishing, might work on a boat, might work on something like this, or, have an aggravating day. I had one of them this week. We worked half a day, and I just wasn't feeling it. The momentum wasn't there, the creativity wasn't there, and I come back from lunch, told Matthew, I said, we're gonna work on the truck. Do something different, let this lay. And you gotta do that, guys. When you're self-employed, you gotta find a balance, whatever your balance is, whether it's a round of golf or taking your wife out to dinner or playing with your grandkids or riding your Harley. You gotta find a balance in life to enjoy. We only go, good Lord only promised us one trip through this journey, and you try your best to enjoy it, enjoy your family through this journey, because it'll be over before you know it. I look back, now that my working career's ended, that was between 2 jobs, that was a 35-year span. And if you add the first real job I had out of high school, it's 37 years. And buddy, it just went like that, gone. And I'm like, wow, and you go back and you try to think about all you did over those 37 years, did a lot, but I mean, it went by in a flash. And if you're 25, 30-year-old watching this video, I'm telling you guys, you'll wake up and you're in your mid-50s, and you're like, whoo, where did it all go? So I say all that to say this: if you're going to dedicate things in your life, you're going to dedicate time to things in your life. So be very specific about what you dedicate time to. You got to work, so you're going to have to dedicate time to that. Whether you're self-employed or you're working for a company, you're going to have to dedicate time to it. But you got to carve out enough time to dedicate to your wife, your family, your kids, grandkids, church, charitable groups, motorcycle club, whatever. Find a balance early in life, and it'll help you as you get older in life to maintain that balance. Because I didn't. In my early days, I was uneducated, high school graduate with the only skill set I had was hard working. And I worked for 2 different companies for the bulk of my career, and that's all they wanted was hard working, intelligent, able to work independent and not cause trouble. And time flies when you do that, because we worked a lot of long hours and I can't get that time back. I regret it, not being smart enough to understand that you got to have a balance, especially early on between your work life and your home life. So there's your tip of the day. Find a balance, guys. And if you're working for an outfit that will not give you that balance, do yourself a favor. Find out what you're worth, find out what you can do, and work for another company or yourself that will give you that ability to find a balance between what you're doing to earn income versus what you're doing to enjoy your life. That's going to do it. I started all that to tell you it's the middle of August and we passed 10,000 subscribers, guys. I don't take it for granted. I don't take it lightly. I'm amazed that 10,000 people around the world would sign up to watch what Matthew and I do every day. And I greatly appreciate you tuning in. I hope you find value in what we're doing. I try to teach along the way. You know, we're not a thrills channel. We're not doing anything for laughs. We're not out racing cars, cutting donuts, jumping motorcycles. We're just working, trying to enjoy our journey through this life. And we appreciate you coming along with us. It's a daily struggle, you know. I'm fortunate at my age to be mainly out of debt. I was out of debt until we went and bought this new wood miser, but we hope to get that off the books here pretty soon. But being out of debt makes life a whole lot easier. If you learn to live within a budget, don't live above your means. I can afford a new truck. I can afford to go buy a new dump truck. I can make the payment. But why do I want to spend 7 years making $800,000 a month payments on a truck that I don't need? Because I don't use it to make money. I just use it to help us around here. Okay, now I paid up for a wood miser because I use that wood miser to make money. Okay, that's a whole lot different than a dump truck that I just occasionally use to make what we do easier. Because the biggest use that truck's gonna get is we'll haul our sawdust pile off with it. We'll deliver some lumber with it. And when we start digging some more of this dirt out, we'll haul dirt with it. And we'll probably go load up in it and go get the next thing we buy off Facebook Marketplace with it. But now if you're a landscaper, you got to have a truck. I'm not. I don't have to have a high dollar truck. So that's what we're doing here. We're building a truck that will do what we need to do on a very tight budget. And I hope, you know, I hope to be under $10,000, $12,000 time we're done. And if we hit that number, that's good. Because I think I could sell it for more than that. Not have no intention of selling. I'm not building it to sell, but one day probably will sell it on and buy something different. And we want it to function well while we have it, and as well as when somebody else has it. Speaking of that, the 1988 450 sitting over here, I got it listed on Marketplace. No longer need it. It's ready to go to work today. Put gas in it and put a butt in the seat, go to work. So we'll move that on. But that's going to do it for today, guys. Appreciate each and every one of you. Got any questions, comments, drop them in the comment section. I'll do my best to answer them. Big shout out to Matthew and Solomon editing these videos. I've heard 2 or 3 of them pop up on my phone this morning. It's a Saturday, so they've been busy sitting in front of the computer editing videos while I've been down here sweating my butt off and working. Actually started out this morning, come down here and steam cleaned all this. About 11 o'clock, I had to go to the house to take a shower. I was so hot, so filthy, so nasty. I went and changed clothes, showered, come back out here and went back to work. Because I knew if I didn't get cleaned up, I was going to the house and sit down. So that's going to do it for today. Guys, appreciate each and every one at Bearded Lumber. I hope you find value in what we're doing with this video series. I know it's not sawmilling, but it is related to what we do every day. Thanks for watching. We'll see you back at the mill.
Thank you for watching. Here's a video selection and a playlist suggestion. Click here to subscribe for more great content. We'll see you at the mill.